so bright out there. Hey, check it out. Rappers in my backyard. Rappers in my backyard. Rappers in my backyard.
What makes someone want to be in an open relationship in the first place? It's all about sex. That's it.
I don't believe
we're
that
not talking
100%.
about a polygamous relationship. We're not open relationship is not just between married people. So I'm not talking about just married people. I'm talking about a boyfriend and girlfriend that also want to keep an open relationship. They have a commitment with each other.
It can be a
but
financial
they
thing
want
too.
to. They're not married. They're not necessarily living together, but they've agreed to be in an open relationship. So at the end of the day, if it's not a polygamous situation, it's not, because of a religious belief, it's about sex. They want to tap more than 1 or 2, 3 asses. I'm sorry. That's what it is.
That's
they
what's
want to
open
get their
about
extra
it.
freak
That's
on.
sex.
The
That's
sex with somebody else. That's it.
Well, that's
they're not
really
just
not-
they're not just
and
gonna
I'm-
sit you in a room just to look at you.
And you know why I'm
unless
happy
that's
for
their
them?
thing.
I'm
you know.
happy for them because they're being honest and they're not leading anybody on.
She done backed completely out of that
I'm
one.
happy
Lord have
for
mercy.
them. I'm happy for
All
them.
right,
mercy.
you know
At
what?
least
We're
they're
not
not
going to
liars
agree
and
on this.
cheaters.
I'm not going to get the two of you guys to agree. As I can see, Leah's heating up over here with all your red attire. I can feel the flame coming over here. So let's just move on to still sticking with this beautiful topic of open relationships. You know me. Shout out to Naughty.
What?
By nature.
By nature.
But all right, Leah, since you got this thing going on where you know somebody, you just ain't telling
Yes,
us,
you do.
and that's cool. But give us the deeds. Let us know in terms of an open relationship and your secret source that you're not sharing right now that has equipped you with the information that we're looking to get. They're looking to
She's
get.
very specific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know too much. So you need to tell us.
You ain't got to give us names.
Right.
Just spill it. Though.
But what is the
Spill the rest of it.
disadvantages of an open relationship?
There's the only disadvantage is certain people.
Claps, crabs, chlamydia.
All right, give her a minute, Shady. Give her a minute. Tell me about that.
I believe the only disadvantage is people like Shady right there, just knocking you down, and what's the other word? Like bullying you, and also
I'm
like
just keeping it real.
yeah, it's not fair to people. It's just like you're like, it's what is the word? You're judging people. And you shouldn't do
Saying
that.
somebody can get an
You shouldn't
STD
do
from
that.
sleeping with more than one person
You
is
can
not
get an
judging. That is
STD.
scientific medical facts.
When you sleep around, you do catch things.
But I'm not talking about people
That's
sleep. See, okay, you're talking about the type of open relationship where somebody's gonna go out there saying, "I'm in an open relationship," but the person that they're dating doesn't know they're in an open relationship. So then they're thinking that it's okay. Like, well, he told me that you was
Okay.
down with it. No, I'm talking about the open relationship where the people actually agree and know about each other.
Okay.
So therefore, if they're sleeping around, they should be responsible enough also to use protection.
But what
Or
if they're
if they know
monogamous
that
with
it's just
the three of them or the
then
four
you
of them?
can get dirty all you
Yeah,
want
and
to
so you
because
don't
it's
think
three
them
people.
exchange of fluids is going to create a
Not
STI,
necessarily,
STD?
not necessarily, not necessarily.
But my point, one of the disadvantages of sleeping with multiple people is that you will get an STI.
STD. Let me correct.
Yes, well, there's STDs and STIs.
What's STI?
D is for disease, I is for infection.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Well, let's kick this thing off right. And I'm going to ask Shady first to set it all up. She was playing Stella not too long ago. Talk to us about that whole Stella experience.
I'm feeling the heat now.
Come with it.
So this segues from one of our episodes of dating younger men. So I went on a journey looking for love internationally on the islands. My background's I'm Black and Puerto Rican, so I'm an island girl at heart. So I love the West Indian cultures, and I definitely love Jamaica in particular. So I set out on a journey.
A great journey.
A great journey. Like, how do I meet me? Because dating brothers and, in the U.S. just hasn't quite worked out for me. So I think I'm done touring Black America. So I'm looking for a brother with a funny accent that speaks funny. That's my new thing. Yes,
brother.
A Jamaican brother. So I visited Jamaica several times alone.
Wait, how did you meet this guy?
Oh, this guy. Okay.
Yeah.
So the background, I've gone there several times prior, just vacation and not looking for anybody, and I just love the people, love the culture. And so, one night I'm on one of these online dating sites. We won't mention any names. And so I was like, I wonder if they have people in Jamaica, if they got guys in Jamaica. So let me just, put in the little scenario. Let me in Jamaica and date range and age range and all this. And I start chatting up with this one Jamaican brother. He was younger. He was about 33 years old. It's several years younger than me. We won't need to say how many years that is. It is not a tell-all today. But so we began chatting for probably about 3 weeks. Video calls. I'm, in my daytime life, I'm an investigator, right? So I ask questions. I want to verify everything. I want to see everything. I had him send me pictures of his passport, his ID, everything to verify who he was.
Jeez, we'd want to go out with her.
So I thought I had all the answers. He says he was
all the
single,
tools you need, right?
Hey. He's single. He's part of the Jamaican military, so he's working on a career. And I'm like, okay,
he got
guy,
a job.
He's 6 feet tall, chocolate brother. He got a job with a little bit of benefits, and that's a lot for Jamaica, for the average wage there. So I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna come out and see you. I want to see you in person. We talked about a lot of different things, what he wanted, and it sounded like we lined up in a few things, and I was willing to take a chance. And
so you went down to Jamaica to take this chance.
Hello, Kingston. Oh my God.
Well, let me put a light on my shirt. Shout out to Bob Marley. I had to represent my love for Jamaica in my shirt today. So yes, so I went down to Kingston for the first time because I'm cray. I do stuff like that.
I would be scared to do that.
I went early in the morning. That's the key to it. Just go early in the morning. You don't go at nighttime.
Okay, now let's get back to the subject at hand. Now you had another woman,
right? So
he
let me explain to you.
I started, and he met another woman. So let's just concentrate on the woman you met on your job and why that relationship went awry or grew apart.
Well,
let's stay there because I just think that the other relationship is not for this particular show. It's just too much.
Well, but here's the thing. There's a caveat because when I started seeing those signs in that relationship I was in, that's when I kind of sort of started looking outside, like, well, maybe
at the job.
You know what I mean?
See, can I just ask one quick question? It's like I always think about this. When you're starting to like care about somebody or like anybody more, why don't you just get out of it?
But it wasn't,
and then move on instead of hold on to that. It's like, is it a fear of being alone? Because a lot of people have a fear of being alone and they just hold on to that knowing it's not going to be good, but they just want that that body there, and then they end up going off, and then that makes it even crazier for the person that had issues to be like, oh, see, I knew it. It's kind of like just get out of it ahead of time.
In certain situations, that could be applicable, but in my case, it wasn't about a warm body. It wasn't about having availability of
So why was she still around if you found interest in another person?
Well, here's the thing. I wasn't sure if what I was seeing was fact. You know what I mean? I'm like
factual in terms of her
I seen signs of like, hold up, like who does that? Like then I'm like, well, maybe because she was younger than me, so I'm like, maybe she. Listen, I'm saying maybe I'm giving Bennett. Maybe she doesn't know any better. Some people don't know. Ignorance, the form of not knowing, is the worst. Yeah. Even though you would think that someone should know things. Some people don't know things they should know. Exactly. So I said, okay, hold up. Let me fall back and just, I'm not going to jump to the conclusion of that because there were so many other things that were good in the relationship. So I was like, well, hold up, maybe. But once that hit, I was like, I looked. I mean, I wasn't.
So you were more aware of it.
Right, but I wasn't
From
looking.
that point.
I wasn't even looking to be with someone else either. It just so happened that
you met this girl at your job.
And
Okay,
the
so let's
chemistry and
go
all that.
with the girl at the job. So y'all had chemistry.
Yeah.
You met her at the job
And
or
then
whatever.
you ended the other relationship, and then you pursued her.
yes, kind of, sort of. It
Kept
wasn't
it
like
going.
that. It wasn't that clear cut.
Right. Of course,
Because
it was
I mean,
complicated.
there's the thing. There was definitely complications because the person that I was separating with had my child.
Okay, so that's just another
So
layer.
that's what I'm saying.
There's layers.
So how quick into the relationship did that happen?
Well, here's what I'm saying. We were together for like. Here's the thing: the individual I had the child with, we were friends for a whole year. We just friends. We watch movies. You know what I mean? In fact, she'd be like, "Look, it's 9 o'clock. I don't have people around my kids, so forth and so on. It's deuces."
So it was totally a friendship.
Yeah,
initially.
for a whole year.
She wasn't crazy.
I'm like, oh, she's straight up. I'm like, you know what I mean? Steadfast. Because I shot my shot a couple, you know what I mean, on the slide. And no, never slipped, never, you know what I mean? Hugged me, then, we kissed. But always was like, okay, I don't have men
So
around
what
my
was
dude.
the deal
Bad
breaker?
rep for
Man.
the real good girl.
What was the deal breaker that took you from this woman that you met at your job to your current girl? Let's deal with the matter at hand, the Karma Club. Introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about your background and everything.
My name is Lawrence Darrington. As I grew up, I was little Tito, grew up to become Big Tito, evolved into King Tito. But today you announced me and addressed me as Mr. Darrington. We all have a story we don't read out loud, but don't talk about what I did, talk about what I'm doing. Don't talk about where I've been, talk about where I'm going. This is a legacy I'm trying to leave for my children, is the man I am today.
All right. Well, you got,
cool.
you're perfect to have you back here. You sound like you done wrote a rap record or something.
That's cool. That's cool, yeah.
Well, give us a little bit about the book, The Karma Club.
Well, the
Tell
book,
us a little bit about
well,
it.
the book came mainly about a dream I had. I used to have these crazy dreams. You ever have a dream and wake up the next day and not even know what you dreamt about? You just kind of forgot about it. So what I used to
Have
do...
you?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah, so what I used to do is I used to get a piece of paper and pen and lay it next to my bed. If I have a bad dream or a good dream, I wake up and I write it down. So when I go back to sleep and I wake up the next day and I don't remember, I look at the paper and it all comes back to me, the whole dream. So once upon a time, I had this dream about my kid's mother. I thought she had got raped. So I asked her one day. I said, "Have you ever been raped?"
So wait a minute. You're saying that your daughter's mother got raped and it sort of inspired
dream.
you in a sense?
In
Oh,
the
okay, in the
dream.
It
dream.
was a dream
So
I
it
had.
came from a dream,
Came from
pretty
a dream.
much.
Okay.
That's cool.
When I asked her about it, she didn't really say anything. She just kind of shook it. 2 weeks later, she walks up to me and said, "Yes." I said, "Yes, what?" Because at that time, I forgot what she was talking about, what the conversation was even about. She said, "Yeah, I got raped." I said, "You did?" I said, "When?" She said, "When I was about 17 years old." I said, "Wow, what happened?" She said, my mother and the next person, my mother and the boy's mother was good friends. They was in high school together. So I told her, and that's all that happened. I never seen the guy again. So when she told me that, it kind of cultivated a whole story. So I just started writing the story about it, and it just came to life the more I wrote about it.
Wow. So you got an inspiration basically from a thought process that you felt that was going on, and you talked to your baby's mother and actually asked her, was she raped?
Yes. But she didn't go into details, and I like to give a disclaimer because she wasn't interviewed. No one else was interviewed. Everything was just made up. It was all fictional. So it just came to life. And it just got bigger. It got realer for me, and it came to life.
No, I get it, because a lot of people say that like they have a dream. It can even be with writing music, writing books, even coming up with the movies that they had a dream. and they take that dream and make something of it. So that's pretty much what you did. You had a dream and you took something. This is your story relating to your dream, pretty much, even though it happened to actually someone you cared about, which it's happened to a lot of people we cared about, I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, were you able to actually have a conversation with your baby's mom in reference to her experience in the rape that you incorporated in the book, or did you just sort of...
No.
Where did you get this information from for the book? Did it come from her?
No, it didn't. She didn't go into details, and that's one issue you don't press when it comes to a woman.
I would agree.
If she
That's
want to
not a
tell you
good
what's
one.
going on and what happened, let her tell you. If not, don't press it, because you're going to open up some doors that you don't really want to open.
We are super excited to have you in the backyard.
Thank you.
And you know what? Today we're talking about father-daughter relationships and how do daughters learn from their fathers.
Big topic.
And I follow you, and everything that you do seems to center around your daughter. I mean, she's all in the videos. She's all in the Run and Tell It apparel, and she's just a light to you. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, everything I'm doing is pretty much is charged up behind that little girl right there. She motivate me, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot, I don't know, and everything I do is to show her pretty much an image of what you look for behind me. Like, not, it don't got to be exactly me, you know what I'm saying? But,
You gotta be realistic.
if it's, I'm gonna at least show you at least the blueprint of what a man should look like, in a sense. So, because eventually, it is gonna be have to pass the torch, So being realistic with self. So
Right.
just understanding that, you know what I'm saying, and like, all right, let me make sure I'm understanding this the right way. It ain't taught to us or put, you know what I'm saying. There ain't no manual to how to be a father. So mine wasn't really involved in my life. So just that also added extra. You better be there, you know what I'm saying?
Right. There ain't nobody else but you.
And I did, you know what I'm saying? I felt that feel once I got older and older through the time of if I had a father, I probably know how to switch something on some cars a little, like something within the feel of, you know what I'm saying? But I've been learning that as the time been going on. But it's
Well, like I said, I know that she's such a motivation for you. What, in your opinion, what lessons do you feel are better taught by a father versus a mother, in your opinion?
It's things that, for one, fathers could only show a woman, in a sense, or a man could show a female, you know what I'm saying? Not just, and same thing for a woman, that can only show, there's things that only a female can do that mans won't even understand. Like, it'd be like, that's gotta be a female thing. But it's vice versa. So it's like, it's things that, like, man stuff, it's I don't know, especially having a little girl, and it's one of these things I feel you gotta be real sharp on, and teaching within these things that she's gonna come across along the way.
Yeah, definitely along the way.
Man talking, you gonna have them slick talkers, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
know any slick talkers out there?
Exactly.
Try to make sure she's sharp enough to know that it's a slick talk at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Some things that women we can overlook, and you can kind of open her eyes to another side.
Yeah.
Another way to think.
Exactly.
How, like, you can't totally think like anyone else. However, you can kind of put yourself in a situation where you're trying to figure out how a man seriously thinks, and then you can learn that from your dad. And unfortunately, some people may not have their dads in their lives, but maybe an uncle or a grandparent. So women, we do need that from men, because like with me, I didn't have brothers, so I went to my cousins sometimes for advice, because you want an honest opinion, and most likely you're going to get that from your dad.
Exactly.
Well,
romantic.
You're fresh off of a really long distance trip that you've taken.
Yes.
And so we're going to dig into that.
Yeah,
we
let's
got to
dig
dig
into
into
that.
that.
Let's dig
'Cause
into that.
I mean, she's over here like grinning ear to ear.
Yeah.
Delivery must have been met on this one. Inquiring minds. What is she's like?
The passport got stamped.
Oh, it did? What country?
International.
What country?
It was Jamaica.
Oh, Jamaica. Okay, hold that thought.
Okay.
Now, we already talked to Marcia, so this particular question I know is going to be for her to kick it off. Okay. But who here has had a long distance relationship, and what is that experience? And we're going to kick it off to you, Marcia, because I mean, you're fresh, you over here gleaming, and you got the hot tea. So tell us about this long distance relationship. She has her guy, her love on her phone right now, and we're all looking at it, and I'm seeing their love. So let's just get to it. Tell me.
Well,
about
I
it.
actually met Neil last year when I traveled to Jamaica for the first time. You know, I was at Margaritaville, just, walking. I just simply was walking, and I wanted to put my feet in the water.
You wanted to get wet. Okay.
Yeah, I put my feet in the water.
Okay.
So Neil was there with 2 other guys.
Okay.
And they were kicking around a soccer ball and stuff. So Neil's intro line to me was, am I into men or women? And I was like, wow, that's kind of strange.
Repeat that question.
He wanted to know if I was into men or women.
Oh, okay.
Because my girlfriend who I went to Jamaica with, she's like 6'4". so when you see us together, you kind of go,
look like a couple, maybe?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So he was there
That's
kicking his soccer
interesting.
ball, and he said that to me, and I was like, what do you mean by that? I thought, that was so taboo for Jamaicans.
Right.
So needless to say, we had our little small talk or whatever, and he was feeling me, I was feeling him, but I just was like, I'm no Stella got her groove back right here.
Okay.
I'm just coming to Jamaica to have a good time. It's my first time. I'm not looking for nobody.
Okay, so you weren't looking for
I wasn't
love
really
at all
looking
on
for
this
nobody.
long distance.
No,
okay.
no. So what happened was, he said, let's exchange numbers. And I was like, sure, whatever. So he said, are you WhatsApp? I go, yeah, I do WhatsApp. So he took my phone, put in his information, and he took mine and stuff like that. So later on that evening, we were talking to each other via WhatsApp. And he was like, dang, I really wish I could be with you. Could you send pics? And I was like, hey, hold up.
The first time you met him there at the vacation.
Yeah, the first time, I met him at the vacation.
Okay.
He was like, send me some pics. I'm like, hold up, dude. I don't do that. I don't do the adult show and tell. So we were like, okay, well, let's talk, And he was like, well, first of all, Neil is 26.
Okay.
And at
in this point, you are taking this way out
So
of.
yeah, that's we have
too
to
much.
talk about something on that level eventually. Down the line,
Right.
for
We
sure.
got to talk about the age difference, but this isn't the show right now. What we want you to narrow it down to
that's gonna be a
is
good
this
one.
long
That's gonna be a good
distance
show.
relationship and your experience.
okay, fast forward.
And so I need you to fast forward that.
Fast forward to my birthday.
So what is up, Infrared?
Man, dealing with this little monster. That's
We had to get him on here. We had to get him on here for a minute.
Hey, look at him.
mic.
Grab the mic.
He's so cute. Tell him bye. Say bye.
Bye.
Say bye.
Oh my goodness, he is super duper cute.
Yeah,
So tell us about the single.
Yeah, it's a new single. I like that, radio friendly. It's basically, that's how I was feeling. I like that. I like a girl that's, got her business straight. I like a thick girl, I like being a little freak. So I wanted to kind of express that.
Yeah, that's
express that on the record. And this is basically, I'm just talking about a girl that I like. I like her get down, her swag, her energy, her vibe.
Right.
And that's how I felt. I got with my boy Dennis Blaze. Shout out to Dennis Blaze.
Shout out to Dennis. Man, he be bringing the heat. Dennis Blaze keep it litty. I mean, man, it's like so cool when people hit their stride on things. You know what I mean? And he's just been able to the two of you guys have such a great synergy together.
Yeah, that dude mastered my sound. And the first day I met him, and he's a DJ at 95.7.
Okay, shout out to 95.7.
Yeah, it's in San Diego. And Dennis, a DJ, a producer. He do a lot, man. When I first did Oh You Mad, he liked it. And we just built from there. And it's just unstoppable.
Right.
Yes.
I wear the "Oh You Mad" T-shirt that you gave me. That's
I
even
need
you guys
one.
could check that out on
Okay.
the YouTube channel. I got that shirt on, and I love that single too because it just made you pose the question like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you mad?" and
Yeah,
why?
I like that.
Like, why are people mad
Yes,
when
yes.
you out there getting your own lane?
Yes,
You know,
yes.
I mean, don't be mad. Come with me, get in the car, and let's ride together.
Exactly.
You know,
Let's work
that's the
together.
thing.
Everybody
Yes.
support each other.
And you know, that's I write records how I feel at that time.
Right,
That's,
right.
You know, people don't do that nowadays. You know, I came from that cloth. You express how you feel on that pen and paper.
Right.
You know, even if it bothers somebody. Nowadays, people just making up stuff and just going with the wave. Nah, that's not music. Music is about expressing yourself.
Right, and
ask you.
actually the rhythm that you're in at a particular time, you know.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that. So you write how you feel. Like,
Yeah, I was
you write
mad
your
at that
stuff
time.
and why-
That,
yeah,
oh, you
that's
mad?
true.
I had a lot of haters. I had a lot of blockers.
Okay. You
let
So
it out.
now I changed my ways. So, oh, you mad? Oh, you mad now? You see me still moving
Right.
forward? See me still, you know, this nice Bentley on me, these Rollies, and so I had to just put it on a piece of paper
Yeah,
and
yeah,
express
definitely.
myself.
Yes, that's
Definitely. And I infrared, like, I've been listening to your music for a really long time. We spent a lot of time together cultivating our voices. Of course, I was chasing this microphone in a different way, but still, it still compels you to try to develop your own lane into things. And I must say, I really, really love your focus. I really love what these new songs are doing and how you're building your brand in San Diego. Well, let's get to you, Leah,
Yeah.
as far as what your scores were
'Cause
for the
even
test.
with that though, real quick though, it's like somebody you get with though may be their love language.
Yeah.
So you may have an issue, like, because you know what are you gonna do in that situation? I'm just throwing it out there. But
it's like
I
you
can just-
said, I gotta get over it. But to me, I'm not one of those individuals you gotta buy me.
Anyway, regardless.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, and we're going to go look at that more closely in the next question.
Yeah.
So tell me what you score, what you came up with.
Okay, first of all, the question should be, do I believe in it?
Oh, okay. Do you believe in it?
I would like to, but from what I got, I don't.
What'd you get?
I don't.
What'd you get?
Because my number, okay, so it's like 30 points to all of this. Mm-hmm. So if we want to do the math on it, I got 9 points
Okay.
for acts of service.
Okay.
Okay, and that's good. That's okay. That's good because I do like, you got to show. Acts of service is kind of like
Right.
showing that instead of, it's like action speaks louder than words. That's what it is to me. So acts of service, and that is important to me. Your
Okay.
actions do speak louder than your words. You can just I'm sitting here like you got to show me something. I don't care. You can talk. People be having the gift of gab everywhere, and that doesn't turn me on.
Okay.
It's the actions. So I guess that
You
is
agree
cool.
with that then?
I do.
Okay,
Actions speak
okay.
louder than words. I need you to show me. It's just the little things. You can show somebody all the time, but when you're just talking and never showing, so yeah, that is
Yeah.
important to me. However, the reason why I said I do believe in that, but I wanted to, maybe it's just me, because there is such a thing as like your zodiac love languages too. So maybe
Right.
because of my zodiac sign, I want to get everything evenly. I want it
Right.
to be everything. I
Oh
want
my
I want it
goodness.
to be like, since it's 30 points, I want to get set. What would that be, like 6.5 for everything?
Right,
So then
right,
I'm
right.
like on it. I'm the winner. I want
You would
all
have to
of
get
it.
sixes
So that's
in
what I want.
everything.
Okay, well then that's fine too.
Okay,
so
you're over 3.
Yeah. So then I got 8 points for words of affirmation.
Oh, okay.
So I guess that's to balance self out and whatnot.
Okay.
Then 7 is quality time. That is very important to me.
Okay.
I don't like people who's too busy all the time, because I am busy, but I still know how to juggle and do everything. So I kind of expect someone, I guess, like me, who knows how to do all of that too.
Right.
So I got 7 points for that, and I got
All
4
right.
points for physical touch, which how dare them?
Right.
Because I do like physical touch. I do.
Wow. And you got a 4 in it.
I got a 4 in it, which really sucks. Maybe that's just not totally important to me, but it is. Because I do want somebody to touch me sometimes. I want to, feel butterflies. I like that.
Right.
I want to be hugged.
You
I
said
wanna be
sometimes,
squeezed.
though. You didn't say all the time.
Not all the
because
time.
all the time would constitute a raging
And you know,
10.
so then that's what
right?
it is. You know, you don't have to touch me all the time. Like,
Right.
you know, some people are super touchy, I
Yeah,
guess. You know, and that's okay. Because I like to see people touching, but sometimes it's like, okay, there's some touching you can't do. Maybe this little touching was like not the
Nah.
touching I like to do. I like
And
to
so
do
what
some
was your last
touching.
one
My last
then?
one was gifts, receiving gifts. I got 2 points for that.
Okay.
And then I figured that maybe I got 2 points for it because I buy myself too much stuff and I don't need nothing for nobody else. You know, it's kind of like when
I
somebody
like
asks
that
me, what do you
analogy.
want? I'm sitting here like, so maybe I just love myself that much. I'm always treating myself like, oh, I need this, I need that, I want that. So then it's kind of sucks though, because if someone was to say, Leo, like, especially a dude, maybe like, what
Right.
do you want? I'm like, house?
Right. Because you
Another
done
car.
bought
like,
everything
as far
else,
as like
another-
jewelry, this. I mean, it's really hard because I'm like,
Yes.
dang, I probably already got that, or dang, I'm about to get that. Like, it's
Right.
hard. So maybe that's why that came in last for me. But don't get me wrong, I do want some little surprise gifts every now and then.
Right. So when is comedy out of context? We got to finish that up because it's just been bad behavior since this Kobe Bryant thing. And it wasn't only that lady comedian that you were talking about. They had another male comedian, which I'm not going to mention the name because it's just useless to say. It's just inappropriate. So I just want to know from your perspective as a comedian, share with us when it is out of context for you.
There was an instance where there was a comedian who was an actor on Seinfeld. Remember years ago he used the N-word and he kept doing it and doing it. And doing it. And it's like, okay, there's a racial barrier there.
You think?
Right.
Jeez.
Maybe you shouldn't stay that. I mean, maybe you shouldn't say that. You know,
Right.
maybe you should stay in your lane. You know, each comedian, each person, each individual, each artist has their own lane, and I think once they find their own lane is when
Right.
they can become who they truly are as an artist.
Yes, definitely.
I think now that as I've gotten older, I'm starting to find my lane. And a veteran comedian came to me when I was in Atlanta, Georgia. He said, this is a lifetime thing.
Right, right.
So if you don't understand that comedy is a lifetime thing, then you're going to lose. Like, I hear people say all the time, Kevin Hart's not funny. I'm like, really?
Cause he's funny to me.
I'm like,
I love Kevin Hart.
look at the numbers. He broke Eddie Murphy's record
Right.
For most sales in theaters. He's selling out arenas.
Right.
How is he not funny? I think this dude is genius. I would love to work with Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
So why are you hating?
Right.
That's not necessary. If that person is doing everything right to get to the bag, then I need to go meet with Kevin Hart and figure out, Kevin, how do I get to the bag?
Right.
I want to learn from the best.
Right. Right.
If you sitting at the top, then I need to go sit at the top with the person who's at the top.
Yes, definitely.
You know, and it's crazy because people just have a tendency to be hateful for no reason at all.
Yeah, especially now. This is just like a really hateful time for people. Like
Hateful,
they are just
nosy.
feeling like they can just do whatever it is that they want to do.
Right.
So we could talk about taking this comedy out of context for a whole show
Yeah, you
because
could.
there's countless examples of how that is going down right now.
Right.
But something that's burning with me, where's the money in comedy, dude? Like, where is the money?
The money in comedy is when you get funny.
Okay. So they pay you as you get funny, because I was reading that a lot of the up and coming comics, they get paid anywhere from like $25 to $50
Right.
for a 5-minute set. And I'm
Right.
just going like, gee, that's hard.
So what happens is you working your way up in the game, and you
Okay.
making these $10, $15, $20, whatever for gas money, and then you get funny, and then all of a sudden you have this national headliner who does these tours and arenas, and you start going out with these headliners. So then you start making a little change on the weekend.
Okay.
You start getting like maybe 1,000, maybe 1,500.
So you jump up from $25.50 to $1,000.
Right, 1,000.
That's a nice jump.
$1,200.
Right.
depending on what you're negotiating. I'm just throwing out a number.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
don't quote me on that because everybody's
We're not quoting it.
right. Everybody's number is different. You know,
Okay.
You can demand more, and then you start meeting people in the business, such as yourself, such as this young lady sitting next to you, and they say, "Okay, cool. We know this person who knows this person. Let's get you in this commercial. Let's get
Okay.
you in this film." And that's where I'm at now. They're trying to say, "Okay, we see Aaron Colbert."
No, it's so I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's the best. I would just say, just putting me out there like that. I appreciate that really
Hey,
much.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Here in the backyard, we are telling our own story. And you are instrumental in helping tell that story. And that's why we're so excited to have you here today.
Yeah, such memories here, man. I got
You got chills.
Yeah,
but it's
'cause there's
different back
memories.
here, though, now.
Yes, it is, because when we started back in the day, it was just dark. We felt everything had to be black.
Yeah. Paint the walls black.
Everything, was black and the whole bit. So, but this is just like incredible. It's really incredible. I'm just saying, you guys, for those who have been through here, you got to come on back home. That's all I gotta say.
Home is where the heart is. And what I want to do before we even start our discussion, because there's so many layers to this journey, I just want to be able to set the table. And you help me because I know that you know these dates and you know these movements. So feel free to chime in because you were a part of these different levels of West Coast hip hop. So unfortunately, the West Coast hip hop scene sort of basically came out of the unfortunate Watts riots back in 1968, I think.
Yeah, it was 68. At that time, I was a Black Panther.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I mean, a teenager, and definitely represent what they were talking about. And then my cousin helped on top of that. My cousin is an original South Central Black Panther.
Okay.
And I really admired him. My father came out of a family with so many siblings. Like, this cousin was at least about a good 10, 15 years older than me. But I looked up to him to the point that's what I wanted to be, a Black Panther.
Right.
And I started that mission in my own hood, in my own neighborhood. So that's what gave me that G status title.
Right.
Because I stood up for I stood up for kids who were being bullied. And then house kids where their parents unfortunate situations was happening, that when they were running away from home or being molested, we were hiding. My mom didn't even know. We were literally hiding these kids underneath my bed.
Oh, so you had your Harriet Tubman going on at that time.
I really did, and I got reminded of that by a very well-known person in this game because he was one of those kids.
Wow.
So that's the deep part about it, that, he actually said it at my birthday party. He says, you guys know Silky D as a DJ, but you don't know her as when she was a teenager. When she was beating up people.
And helping people get to the next part.
So, that G, that's where G's originally started, actually, that ending era of the Black Panthers and the Browns.
Wow.
Because the Browns, we don't leave them out either. Our Latino brothers was our brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I say Buddha heads. And
part.
I'm saying all things, so please don't be offensive, because that's how we related to each other back in the day. My Buddha head, this kind of thing. And it was out of love. You see what I'm saying? But it was the mission of being together and protecting kids that was being bullied on, or helping them in their situation, because we didn't know what to do or where to send them to get help.
Right.
We only knew how to take care of them.
Right.
And
Which
protect
brings me to the next part of, out of that unfortunate events with the Watts riots, a gentleman by the name of Bud Schulberg put his money together,
created
got funding
the writers,
and everything.
Program, and that's where you got the
Watts writers.
The Watts poets came out of that, and then you got the last poets. And this is the original origin of West Coast hip hop. And
from that
space.
Yes.
And this is the reason why and I know a lot of our West Coast people here are saying that we start hip hop first.
Well, I don't feel like that's necessary. I feel like what you were born with is what you need to rock with. Like, you were supposed to be the way that you were made.
Exactly.
And, you don't need to mess up with, it's already been custom designed. Like, that's like you getting a brand new handbag and then you start ripping it up and doing some crazy stuff to it. Like, you just spent like how many racks, and then you just want to mess this up. Like, that's a priceless, piece of art right there. And maybe I might get a little bit of backlash because I have tattoos, so people may say that's augmentation, but I don't want to go get any surgery. I don't want to go get any, big buns or anything like that. How I am is how I am. I got long, luscious legs. I have plenty to offer. I don't get any complaints. So that's how I'm keeping.
Hey, and I love that. I mean, that's a very confident way to say who you are, because I mean, even if you do change out a body part, that body part was not meant to be on you. Correct. So it's not going to work the same way the rest of your body will.
Exactly.
So beauty is what you believe it to be, and it starts from here. It cannot be a physical thing. And I'm glad to hear that that's where you're coming from with that. So who is your favorite recording artist? I'm just curious. Who you love?
I really I love Little Kim.
Okay.
Let me start there. I feel like I have to start there because that's the reason why my subject matter is kind of how it is.
Okay.
She made it okay for me to be able to talk the way that I talk. I feel like back in the day, it was very sheltered. You couldn't really talk about what it is that you was doing behind closed doors.
Right.
Now my door's open and I'm telling you how it is, and that's how we're doing it. I feel like she was the first one to really, for me. Right. I mean, there's others, and no disrespect to them. It's just for me, Little Kim, she does it for me. And currently, not as raunchy and provocative. I love Sir. You know Sir.
Okay.
Yeah, I love Sir. His vibe is amazing. Like, I feel like when I just want to relax and just vibe out, he's perfect. And because I don't always want to turn up, because I make music to turn up. So I feel like I listen to myself when I want to turn up. Or I'll listen to some Kim if I want to turn up. But I listen to some Sir when I want to relax and I want to vibe. And from LA, shout out to him. We from LA.
Right. We doing this LA thing.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about that is that I like your perspective of, if I want to turn up, I listen to my own music.
Exactly.
If I want to turn down, then I'll listen to somebody else's music.
Right.
Now, being a female MC, there is always a question about the voice. And you have a great voice to be a female MC. It's not too, generally for the females, it's a high voice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to quote nobody.
Right.
But I think that with your voice, you have that nice combination of like that bottom that like an MC like that. That solid, and that Queen Latifah solid hitting voice. And then on the other end, you have that nice flow to it and that nice rhythm to it, like a Little Kim.
Right.
Because Little Kim's voice is dope.
Yeah.
And then on top of her ability to paint a picture, I can understand why you love her so much, because she put it down.
Yes.
My girl is here, and she got a story to tell, and we finna do this right here today in the backyard. What you been up to?
Working. I mean, so many things.
Just kidding. You
I love
always
it.
working.
So, first y'all know, I've been You Could Do It Girl for 20 years. We had a 20-year anniversary.
What is it? You could do it,
put your back into it. Yay! Y'all know the classic. Yesterday was a classic 20-year anniversary for War and Peace for Cube.
Wow.
And that song is his leading song on that album. So I just had another 20-year anniversary for another project. So, of course, I'm going to keep mashing and doing music. I started a label 2014.
2014?
Go Entertainment.
Okay.
LLC. So I can start dropping my own records. See? You know what I'm saying? So that's how that all played into what was going on with the streaming and how the labels changed, from being a signed artist with Universal, independent to owning my own. Because now it got serious.
Right.
And even though I get credit, at those other projects, I still wanted my own outlet.
Yes.
So
you need to have your own.
Yeah. I've been a production company since day one. The first manager I ever had told me about publishing. He was like, well, you get a hit and you're going to get paid for the rest of your life. I think that stuck with me.
Right.
As an early
Y'all
artist.
hear that out there?
An early
Get your
artist.
Publishing
and
right.
he said, for the rest of your life. I said, okay, let me find out they're going to give me a check for the rest of my life somewhere.
Yeah.
And there it is.
So let's kick off our questions. The first one that I have for you is, you're such a freaking game changer. You know, I mean, in your career, I mean, you just continue to elevate your game. And I think that that's such a important part for other women to hear that's trying to do this thing called hip hop. But I wanted to ask you, what was the game changer in your career and how did that happen for you?
Me trying to be in this business and be in a relationship that was going to help put me up at the same time that didn't work.
Okay.
So I said, my downfalls helped me get where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
My bad decision making, my mistakes, my choice in men, my choice in, you know what I mean? My reality got me here because I was told so many different things. I'm old, I can't do this, I'll fail, I do this, but they never seen me before. How you know I'm a fail?
Right.
They didn't even know I was the girl from You Could Do It. How you know they don't know me?
Right.
How you know they don't like me? So my job was to shun those who shun me.
Right.
And get to work.
Right.
So I had to find people that was like me. Period. I couldn't find nobody who was the opposite of me. I worked with people like that for a long time.
Right.
So I said,
that's hard.
Yeah, because some of my ideas are great. They're working right now. Mm-hmm. They weren't working with the people that I was with.
Okay.
That's what was the difference. So I had to change the people so that my ideas can flourish. Because even my mom didn't believe I was making money until she got that check at that house.
Right. And
you understand what I'm saying? And then your sound exchange, and you understands me. Now you understand it's a business. I can pay a couple of bills. I can live a little bit. That's what your parents want. That's what your people want. They want to make sure you could take care of you.
Right.
So with this music, I am able to take care of me without going to sell myself, do this job, do that job. I do have businesses.
Right.
I am a smart woman. But I do this music full time because it does pay me.
Right.
And whether you believe me or not, I don't give a shit.
Well, I mean, the problem is that, universally, publications started to decline around late 90s or whatever. Right now, there's so much chaos because people are doing online magazines that are hot trash, and you can't really get anything.
Say that again, hot trash.
Hot ass trash.
Right.
And you can't get it's hard to get reliable sources. That's the problem.
Right.
We used to have journalistic integrity. We used to have publications that were real, that were raw. You knew where they were coming from. I mean, I'm a professionally trained journalist, so my publication, that's what it was about. I was trained as a journalist to have, certain specific standards that made sense, and that's why the publication was the way it was. And there were other publications just like it. I always give props to the source. They were number one. They did their thing, and they had journalistic integrity for a while. And,
right. You had to put the 4 round in there. But wait a minute, before you go too far on that journey, I just want our viewers, I want us to set the table up for them so that they can kind of have some history. Okay. So let's just go with the first question that I had for you, which is, what is Rap Sheet? What was that magazine?
Okay. Rap Sheet was a monthly quarterfold publication that was styled like the old Rolling Stone. The original Rolling Stone was a quarterfold newsprint publication. So that's why I did that, because I wanted to be original as far as hip hop music was concerned, because in the early 90s, we were still defining hip hop journalism. We were still defining hip hop publications. And so that's why I wanted to go old school. Also because I wanted to be different. There were a lot of pretenders to the throne who were chasing after the source and trying to be the source. And my thing was, I didn't want to be the source. I wanted to be me. I wanted to create a publication that made sense. So we didn't do a lot of cursing. We never printed like the N-word. We didn't do those kinds of things. We would talk to any artist about real substantive content that they actually had. So, you know, I didn't talk to MC Light about a beef that she had with Antoinette. I would talk to her about being a female MC, about being a pioneer.
The stuff that mattered.
The stuff that mattered.
Because, not to cut you off, but I really feel like in that whole breath of you describing what Rap Sheet was, I would be leaving out a whole lot if I didn't ask you, how was that experience being an owner and a publisher back in 1992 is when you started this?
Yeah, my original publication I started in 88.
Okay.
Rap Sheet started in 1992.
Okay.
It was a tough year. I mean, that was the year of the riots.
That's why I had to ask you, set the plate.
And literally, I was living on 62nd in Normandy. So I was 10 blocks away. And as a journalist, I went out and spoke to people. I had my, little handheld recorder.
Right.
And I ended up, doing a book on the riots. But that was a tough time because, people were still trying to define everything. It was tough trying to carve out my niche and get people to understand you must do business with me because we're going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I combined it, and I'll say this, not to pat myself on the back, but Rap Sheet was so dope. And Rap Sheet got such a great push because I was already the marketing man. Like all the early marketing with hip hop and the brand Sprite, that was me.
Oh, okay. So you were already...
I was already in there.
In there knowing how to assimilate that information in a way to reach everybody and to speak in a language that everybody could understand.
Yes.
See, that's the key because you can't supersede your neighborhood.
You can't just jump out there and do something.
Right.
And there was another guy named Daryl who was the global brand manager inside of Sprite, Coca-Cola USA.
Okay.
And he and I worked together. And so that Sprite brand was the house that the two Daryls built.
We rap about relationships, entertainment, and music. You heard?